All right, well, we'll go ahead and start. Again, my name is Matt Kaiser, Director of Market Operations for TaskEasy. Been with the company for going on 5 years. Been an interesting journey to say the least. And I know that a few of you on this call are newer with TaskEasy and partnering up with us. And really excited, one for the partnership, but then two for the prospect that I'm going to be talking about that'll be coming to your market here soon. That is route optimization, as we call it here with TaskEasy. So we'll go ahead and get started. What is route optimization? Now, I know that when you're working with your market managers or you're calling in, you probably have come to some kind of terminology, but that's consistent. But route optimization is just the concept of organizing or grouping jobs in a way that limits the amount of drive time between properties just to increase efficiency. We want to make sure that boots on the ground is the thing. It's not boots in a car. We want to make sure that you're earning as much as you can from a revenue per mile standpoint. And aside from TaskEasy sourcing jobs and alleviating that consideration from your plate, we want to be mindful of the time and do more and more to improve your experience in partnering with us. Again, why is optimizing your route so important? I just kind of alluded to it, but again, the big theme here is more revenue per mile. So a simple calculation to demonstrate that is just literally taking miles driven and dividing that by revenue made. Now, I know that some of our market managers and our support team really good at looking from a logistics standpoint at different geographies and trying to pinpoint. I don't know if anybody's got it as locked down as the United Postal Service with their right turns only. Some of you guys do, but we've been able to find some pretty impressive data in what our development team at TaskEasy has been able to put together for our vendors who are using this, and we're seeing much some very much I guess well respected amounts of additional income in terms of time savings and revenue per mile. So the other component here would be truck maintenance. We understand that driving around is there's going to be wear and tear on vehicles. That happens all the time. We get those calls consistently, and then I know that Adrian threw that road rage is a real thing, and in some of your markets I've driven around, like it is a real thing for real. So this is certainly a way to help kind of alleviate some of those topics as well. And then more opportunities to generate revenue. So with the optimized route that we provide, you can get through your normal workload faster and leave more time to complete jobs that you may have from your own book, or get back that most important piece, which is time with your family or with activities that you're into while earning the same amount of money. So it's literally working smarter, not harder. So again, we're making changes to the way that we optimize routes, and instead of relying on human beings and human intervention from our awesome staff, our routing software is going to go ahead and do that in the most efficient manner. So we're moving from job placement to route building. And to go along with that, one piece that's not going to be in the slide is we're also trying to start looking at route earnings. I definitely understand there's a win some, lose some prospect in this game. And, I'm no stranger to a trade. I did drywall for quite some time in my past life. And so it's understandable, that sentiment, but we want to make sure that we're doing the best that we can and making sure you're winning some. So looking at route earnings, but to do that, you have to look at building routes. And instead of getting one or two jobs at a time, we're going to build you a daily route that we can go ahead and get to you 3 days actually ahead of time, so that you're not guessing what's to come. Condensed routing. So our routing software is going to limit the drive time between properties to help you earn more revenue per mile. That's the big key. And then utilizing our Teams feature. So this is what's awesome too. Like a lot of you, and we're testing this coincidentally, use different I guess services, some which can be very pricey, some no price at all. But like the one piece that I've noticed, and the team, some of whom are on the call, have noticed, is the time that our vendors and our network put into routing and getting everything set up. That time is valuable. Your time is money as well. But if you have multiple crews, even our routing can, the software can build routes for those specific crews. We just need to know their start point location. So aside from we have a lot of one truck warriors, we have crews that vary, or companies that vary from 2 to 4 trucks on up. You know what I mean? And we can definitely utilize Teams features to take into consideration any crews, capacity, how many people are in the truck, and et cetera. Even what kind of jobs you can perform, and then take that into consideration and build routes with jobs that we have available. So pretty neat way of going ahead and distributing our work across our network. And on the right here, I want to demonstrate. So we've been doing this over a year. I believe we kicked off this concept back on October 15th of 2019, and we started with Miami. And so we were just dusting off some of the data here and looking at Miami pre, and you can kind of see each color, each dot rather, or pinpoint, if I can get the terminology correct. The pinpoint would represent a job, and then each color would represent, a company that's servicing this job, company or crew. And what you can see on the right is just, some driving, especially some of these pink dots and orange and all over the place. It's just it's a kaleidoscope of colors. And then when you go to the right here, you see the same, but post route optimization technology that TaskEasy is implemented here. Again, this is our own proprietary software. It's not going to be an additional charge to use it. It's just part of the experience. Now, you can see that the clusters are a lot more digestible than the previous. So this is what we're experiencing in 85% of our markets. And when we are looking ahead of the spring and some of the markets that everybody on this call is in, we're seeing, job growth and some exciting opportunities. Want to make sure that we're capitalizing on that by implementing this tech in your area. So how do these changes impact you? Instead of showing up to the same property week over week, we're going to create a daily route with the least amount of drive time. We want to create routes 3 days in advance. So you should know 3 days in advance what your route's going to look like. We're always striving to do better and better with that. Right now, that's where we're at, and we're able to do is 3 days in advance. You have to take in consideration service windows, and be mindful of not performing jobs too soon or too far away from the last service. And as we distribute that across our network with vendors who are in an area and able to service, an area in a particular day, we have to be mindful. So 3 days in advance, which is still really, really awesome. Again, these are all jobs that you don't have to source. It's what we have in our network that we're going to go ahead and give to you, just for being a vendor network. And then more revenue per mile. So in our tests, we found contractors made a lot more money in revenue while driving less or the same amount of time. Obviously, that boils down to reduced fuel costs, windshield time, and then that obviously spend more time just doing what you're fantastic at, and definitely we're appreciative of, to generate more revenue. And then no more rescheduling. So since you're going to have a new route every day, you're not going to have to reschedule a job. We still want to hear if you're not able to complete routes, because we're going to be looking at something called a completion rate. So, if you're able to complete, 9 out of 10 jobs, it's a 90% completion. It's pretty dang good. We know life gets in the way though, and certainly weather gets in the way. We're working at getting some new reporting features so that you can categorize if you couldn't get a job done, and we can take account in inventory of that. But you're not going to have to reschedule the job. Instead, jobs that don't get finished on their assigned day are going to be added to another route in the future. So it's really, really neat. I don't want to give away the secret sauce, but I can tell you, if we have late jobs and you have a route that you're looking for in a couple days, and you may notice that that route might have another few jobs added, because if a job isn't performed by either yourself or another vendor in the network, because life happens, we're going to look at that job and see, like, when will that make sense on the next upcoming routes, to ensure that we're doing our best to hit those fulfillment windows and service those jobs at or near the closest opportunity to the due date. And so it's been tremendous. I will tell you, the win for us is, our fulfillment and our customer satisfaction is up. Obviously, the win for you guys is reduced call times. Just knowing that we're going to be doing this automatically, we're going to be mindful of the capacity and capabilities that you've given us, so that we're just seamless in communication. And then you couple that with the awesome market managers that we have working for us, like the communication and the partnership with this route distribution mechanic is really, really awesome. So what we're going to need from you, as I kind of just alluded to, would be updated capabilities. So there will be a survey being sent shortly after this call so that you can go ahead and update capabilities and capacity. So how many days can you dedicate to Task Easy jobs a week? Um, we can even look at that in terms of hours as well. So we have all kinds of ways to slice and dice that. But the capabilities piece, as customers have really enjoyed the services that we offer by virtue of the really awesome vendor network that we have. And again, appreciate all your work. It's created opportunity for new verticals, new job types that we're getting into. So you'll see some of those just in these surveys as well. It's important just to update us and let us know. Can you do gutter clearing? Can you do junk removals, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera? So um, awesome opportunities that we're going to continue to see. We just want to make sure that we're inventorying who we have in our network so that we can pair job types with you and not throw something like out of the blue on you when you don't have maybe the equipment with you on a specific day, for instance. Quick touch base with your market manager. I believe most of you probably already started this or will happen this week, but your market manager will be contacting you this week to collect the above information as well and help with any questions you may have. So I would encourage you to still fill out the survey. We can see that and then we can fill in the gaps on these calls. But it says be sure to connect with them to avoid losing access to jobs next week. It's important because we need to understand capacity and capabilities to be able to you know get you going with the right amount of jobs. And then this is obviously not anything that's set in stone. We have the ability to fine tune this, which makes it an even more enjoyable process with giving these jobs out. So with that, we have some time for Q&A. So let me go ahead and pull up some questions here. Vary depending on the geographic location you're in. Um, if you're in a pretty big market where we have a ton of jobs and where your start location is in conjunction with where our jobs are, one week that job that you serviced last week might not make sense, and then in the future week it could. I can tell you the one thing after lots of data on this to just know is this is part of the benefit of having QC. One piece that would always get me perturbed, so to speak, when I was back doing drywall is if I had to go do patchwork for somebody in my company because they didn't do something right. We're still going to be looking at photos. We don't want anybody to have to pick up slack for everybody else. So I haven't seen this issue arise, which I was kind of suspicious of when we first started. But everybody does a dang good job for us, and there's consistency in servicing, and we haven't seen anything go out of hand with overgrowth. I guess the answer is you could. It depends, on job density, how many jobs are around, et cetera, et cetera. Will I still have the ability to see my schedule a few days out? Might have had a few people joining a little bit later, so yes, we can see schedules 3 days out. And then the other awesome piece too is they're always going to have 3 days that you're able to see ahead of time. And the only change is if there's late jobs, we're going to build in like a buffer in terms of additional capacity that we could throw into your schedule. That's why it's important to chat with the market managers or answer the survey so that we know if we have late jobs and let's say, I am in Atlanta, Matt's in Atlanta, and on Thursday, it looks like he could take on an additional 10% of work based on what he has on his schedule. We have these late jobs in that area. We'll go ahead and put it in that schedule in a route optimized fashion. It allows the ability to inherit late tasks or new tasks to you in an existing route, which isn't going to kind of mess things up too much. So pretty awesome with regards to what we were able to put together there. And then what about bids? Yeah, bid season's it's around the corner. I think a lot of us have been able to enjoy a longer season, and again, that's a testament to everything that you guys are doing. Clients really do love to see, that boots on the ground, um, ear to the rail, just eyes on property that you guys are able to provide, even when like the lawn mowing isn't absolutely necessary. So we have the curb appeal piece, but there's going to be that time of year is coming where we're going to have bids with new properties turning back on. And if you go to a property and you're needing an additional funds, you just need to let us know. You can give us a call. First of all, I implore us to give us a call, or implore you to give us a call as we set up our staff to be able to get those additional funds right then and there, and we don't have to go back and forth if we can avoid that. And if unfortunately we're not able to get an approval right there over the phone, then we will actually go ahead and create a placeholder, so that job would be on pause, and it will stay with you until we hear back on that bid. And then once we hear back on that bid, we'll get back in touch with you and work with you to schedule these jobs out, um, and on a day that works best for you, to be honest with you. So very good question. That one comes up from time to time. Um, and those look like the big questions that I have received. All right. I'll wait just another minute. All right. And that looks like it's it. I'm not getting any other questions. Again, I appreciate everything that you guys have done for us. I'm excited for this next season. I know it's been a challenging one. We do have some exciting prospects in terms of new deals in the works here that I think will materialize over the next few months. Another big boost we're looking at is consumer. And for those of you that are new, that's just a reminder. Those are just general customers. I love consumer jobs. I think customers in general, consumers, they take really good care of their lawns, and you don't have some of the equipment damage that you'd experience on some vacant properties that maybe have some opportunities. The stuff that scary movies are made of. So I'm excited for just a much better year. Lots of good growth, and honestly, to offset that and feed the network that we have, we had to look at what can we do to make distributing jobs and maximizing people's time and increasing their earning power within the network, and this is our solution. So I'm happy to talk one off if you guys need to. I know your market managers will be contacting you, but I'll go ahead and give you back a few minutes of your day, and really do want to say thank you for joining me. Again, my name is Matt Kaiser. I'm the director of market operations here at TaskEasy. Have a great day.